Hey everybody, editing Eric here. Totally forgot to film an intro. I got straight into the video. It's a super quick one, so I think you'll see why. But we're gonna make some nylon and leather crossbody straps. Great way to save some time, to save your customers cash, to make a lot of cool different colors so that you can, I talk about it later in the video, but it allows you to kind of have repeat customers because you can make a bunch of different colors and they can take their bag and match their outfit by buying different straps. It's a cool video. This one, I have one nylon strap video. This is a one-piece nylon strap, so it's really, really easy to put together. You could probably make 100 of these in a day by hand. So enjoy the video. So I just went on Etsy and I got a bunch of different colors of 1-inch nylon webbing. And you're gonna need about 2 yards roughly to make a crossbody strap. You can get it in Hunter Orange, you can get it in Forest Green. You can also make a guitar strap out of it. You just use 2-inch, and Buckle Guy sells the hardware. The hardware we're going to use, we're making a 1-inch strap that goes down to 3/4 inches. So we're going to use these guys, which is, there's the info for you. We're going to use one of these guys, which I call a square ring, which I know is not what it's called, but whatever size you need of that. And then I've chosen these clips in 3/4 inch, just because they're a really beautiful sort of, I like the shape, it looks nice. So we're going to need one of these, what are they called? Double loops. We're going to need one, I guess it's called the single loop then, and then 2 clips. Now you can size these up to 1 inch and just do everything by 1 inch. You can see the only reason I like to do it 3/4 inch is because you get that little detail on the side with the nylon sticking out, and I think that looks really nice. Then we're going to use just a handful of pop rivets. These are, I believe they are 9mm, no, these are 11mm caps, and I believe it's 9mm length, stud length, right there. A lot of colors to pick from here. I love this one, but it's cotton. So make sure, so nylon, you can melt all of your ends with a lighter and it's super easy. Cotton is definitely usable, and obviously if you want like a coastal look, you can go with something like that. Or if you want to make a cool guitar strap, I have a few down there, but you know, you just have to do a little extra sewing, where this is a no-sew option. I'm gonna go with the OD green though. Actually, yeah, I'll go with the OD green because I think that would look nice with that with this bag. So 1-inch nylon webbing. I just went on Etsy and typed in 1-inch nylon webbing, and this is olive, so I guess it's not OD green, but we're gonna go with this one. So the first thing we need to do, I've cut out 2 3/4 inch strips of the leather that I made the bag out of. And the first thing we need is the little tiny attachment point that keeps one of our swivel snaps on. And to do that, all I did, this is about 4.5 inches long. You can make it as long as you want. I like to make it really short. And you can see I'm kind of freestyling this, which is what I like about this design. So I'm going to put the D-ring through one end, the snap through the other, and kind of tuck everything together like this. And then use my fingers just to get everything nice and neat. Now you can use a rotary punch or a regular punch for this. I like to use a rotary punch so that I can keep my finger on it and make sure everything's in place. And then I'm going to go from this side, because I have my visible end here, and I've used a 3/4 inch strap end punch to cut an end, and I want my rivet to be nice and centered on that. So there we go. And the size punch you're going to use is all dependent on the rivet that you're going to use. So this rivet fits nicely in here. We'll put a cap on this side, and that's all we need for our first part. So I'll go rivet this, and then we'll be able to start working with our nylon. Now that we have this riveted together, this is going to be the end that we put on last. We need to make our first attachment piece. Now I've melted this end because it's nylon plastic. I just melted this end with a lighter, and I like to just take a 1-inch fold over and then do that twice, so that we're kind of tucking that unfinished edge real deep in there. And it also gives this attachment point a little bit more sort of, I don't know, it's a little more rigid. This is a 4.5 piece strip of 3/4 ounce leather, by the way. And what I like to do, when I figured out this design, which is by no means original or anything like that, this is just the way I decided to do it, but I like to just kind of freehand it, because every cord or every nylon strap is different. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to punch through all of these if I can. Oh. You want good grip strength, make a bunch of these things. And if you're off on the other side, which oftentimes I am, all you have to do is go back and just put the hole literally where you want it. And you'll see the rivet will cover that up and it'll look nice and centered. Now, once that's done, I'm going to take a rivet and I'm going to put it in there. And that's going to be act like just a third hand for me. The hard part's done on this side. Now, we want to kind of see, you have the two holes there. So when we set it, we want to make sure it looks centered. But you do have the opportunity, if you want for some reason, to have it move over. You could do that. But the nice thing about pop rivets is that you can always, once we set that, it'll stay where it goes. So now I'm going to take one of my rivets and I'm going to place it like this where I want it, and then I'm going to push down. And that gives me a guideline. Now, it's not totally centered, but I can center that by eye, no problem. I'm sure you guys can too. And we're just going to punch our hole here. Now, if we look on the back, plenty of room. So we will put another rivet through here. If you want to, you can make it look even more fancy by adding a few leather washers. We're going to use these leather washers later. I'm not going to use them in this because I think this looks really nice and clean. But what this does, we're going to lock in our nylon here, and then we're going to lock in this entire thing with this rivet. Plus, with pop rivets, you always want to kind of double up if you can, because they're not as strong as solid rivets. And there we go. Okay, so you can see we're almost done with this thing already. Now, if I have rosy cheeks, it's because the fireplace was on and it accidentally got to be 80 degrees in here. But the Santa Claus look, you know? So you can see we have our really thick part held together by a rivet, and then we're just locking it off with another rivet there. Now it's time to do the weird, complicated part that took me a while to learn, but I'll show you how to do it. I had to go figure out what this was called. We're almost done. This is almost done. So these are really cool because what you can do is, instead of making a bag and charging a ton for a leather strap, because you kind of have to, unless you're using like really thick leather, you can do these in nylon, and then if someone buys this bag or another bag in a neutral color, they can always come back to you. It's always hard to get returning customers when you make stuff out of saddle leather because it doesn't wear out. But with something like this, there's a few things that are happening here. The first thing is we're adding another texture, which is going to make your product look more professional, because we're mixing textures together. The second thing is it's going to give you an option for a low-cost sort of repurchasable product, right? If someone buys a bag from you and say they want to go to a Halloween, I don't know, I'm coming up with random crap, right? But they want to go to a Halloween party, they can buy an orange version. If they're going to Nantucket, they can buy a striped version. And it's economical for your customer because all they have to do is buy the strap, and it's economical for you because these things take 10 minutes to make, and I think 5 yards of this was like $4, $5. So I'm only using 6 feet, which is 2 yards, which means that I'll get 2 straps per. So the cost on this, it's scrap leather, couple pieces of hardware, it's maybe $10. You can sell them for 35, maybe 40, or whatever you can fetch for them. I'm not going to get mad at anybody that gets more than that. But that's why I think this is a really interesting idea, because you don't have to sew a leather strap. You can offer a leather strap, but you're not stuck with a leather strap, and it also gives your customer an opportunity to accessorize. So you can be both a handmade leather company and a little bit more fashionable, but you can feel good about it because this is nylon webbing. This is going to last a very, very long time. So let me show you how to do what I think is the confusing part, even though I think it's just kind of me, not confusing. So we're going to take the center loop, or whatever this is called, right? We're going to take our nylon. We're going to go through this on one side, like that. Then we're going to tuck back around. Pull that like a bit. Then we're going to take our little piece here that we made. And the cool thing about this is you don't really need to, because we're using swivel snaps, the only thing you really need to worry about is if you care that this shows what side it's on. I don't care, so I'm just going to go like that. All we're going to do, actually I can make this smaller because this is going to be adjustable once we're done. This is the part that we're going to adjust on top. So we loosen this up like this. Then we tuck this part underneath and bring it around as well. My fingers are very big, so they don't like to do that, but this becomes our anchor point. So you have one piece coming out like this. This is the movable part. The other piece is tucked under it. See? Now we can fold this back together like this, and that is now secured to the center of, or will be secured to the center of our loop. So you can see here now that we have, this is our moving piece, and this piece loops underneath it, and then the rivet is holding all of this together. Literally the last step to putting this entire strap together, or if I can get this off, I put this here just to hold it, is to punch a hole. And I made a couple leather washers. It's nylon, so you don't need to do this part, but I just think it looks a little nicer. We're going to put a leather washer on that side. We're going to put a leather washer on this side. Like I said, these are 9mm long, 11mm cap rivets. And that's basically what we're going to look like. So I like to keep my folds about 1 inch because it keeps it looking tidy and kind of out of the way. Once I press this rivet, we got a fully functional strap. And I'm sure if you've been making bags for a long time like I have, this is kind of a godsend, because God, do I hate making straps out of leather. It takes so long to stitch, so long. I'm too tall. And that's it. So look at that. Finished strap almost in real time. So the way it works is, because we riveted the bottom of this, it's permanently attached to that center bar, whereas the top moves back and forth. So you can adjust this long or short. So it's the same thing with this one. And unlike the last video I did, it's only one piece of nylon, or nylon webbing. So it takes no time at all, and it's a great use of scrap. So we're going to clip this one on instead. I have these pretty little clips. A good way to prevent if you are selling, to prevent your customer from overloading a bag, is to use the size hardware that the bag can handle. So if you get a customer, if you get a bag that with, 3/4 inch hardware like this, you're not going to be like, oh, I can put 200 pounds in that bag. And then you won't have as many returns with people blowing out a D-ring or something because they tried to put like bricks in their bag, which I've had happen before. So the bag now very much changes in tone from kind of, you know, I don't know, what would you say, like safari to like more of a military inspired bag. And think about having, I mean, I think this is just from a fashion standpoint, if you have, I'm one of those people that has kind of like a capsule wardrobe, like I wear the same stuff every day. If you have one bag and you have multiple straps, and you can just pick the strap that matches your outfit for the day but wear the same bag, it's pretty cool. And it's less waste, and it's less work, and it's less money, and it's less time. And it's more personal. You get to personalize things more. So I know it was a short one, but I have been making these obsessively for the past like 2 weeks or so, and I wanted to make sure I got it right. But a couple pieces of nice brass hardware. Make sure you get like the nice thick nylon. There are some, this is kind of, I like this because it's kind of chunky, but this one's a lot thicker. The weave's much tighter. And that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I have a couple really good videos coming up. This was just kind of a quick one that I wanted to share with you because I know that straps, like I said, are the Achilles heel of leatherwork sometimes. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.